reconstruct becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmund Obilo, on State Affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
Baba?
Yes, my son.
Tell me a story.
Millions of years ago, a meteorite made of vibranium, the strongest substance in the universe, struck the continent of Africa, affecting the plant life around it. And when the time of men came, 5 tribes settled on it and called it Wakanda.
Why?
We are black. We respect our culture. We are the history. We stand for unity. We stand for integrity. We all splash. 105.5 FM.
105.5 The Splash.
Do you feel irate? One time. Said I ain't.
Americans getting stronger every day, and there is unity among the African people. Joyo, shanana shanana do, nati nati bongo, shanana shanana do. Joyo, shanana shanana do, nati nati bongo. Shanana, shanana, do. T-bombe, shabadubado. Shanana, do. Chadamde, sabadubade. Shanana, do.
Yes, Magic for Shek sings for you. How are you? Hope you are fine. The radio man is fine. I shine. What about you? Magic for Shek sings for us.
Come together. The white people getting stronger every day, and there is unity among the black people. Yo, shanana shanana do, and nati bongo. Shanana shanana do. Yo, shanana shanana do, and nati bongo. Shanana shanana do. Sabadibado, didabado, chadabado.
Yes, it's about my mission to the house of a witch. Yes, I must meet the witch, and she must give me what I want. It's my journey Huh! To see the witch, I will have to bat in the cave to disarm my heart. It was hard for me, but I complied to continue the journey. It's my journey. It took another 7 days and nights of working without sleep. On getting to Boni River, I saw smiling crocodiles. The child warned me not to look into their eyes. Suddenly, the crocodiles became aggressive and the child held my hand and flew me to a big tree. From the top of the tree, I saw the nakedness of the world. I saw how men plot evil in their hearts. I saw how light defeats darkness. Yes, it's my journey. As I observed the world, an eagle flew from nowhere, snatched me from the child, and dropped me softly on the foot of a hut, where an old woman in white was seated. It's my journey. She asked me to close my eyes. She led me through the valley of mystery to where the black pot is. She presented a calabash of roasted squirrels to me for lunch, and told me to drink from the water pot resting on the head of an imprisoned lion. She knows what I want. She knows. I want the black pot. I will break the pot to free the hearts of our leaders from foolishness. It is time to break the pot. Peace. Peace round the country. From Imo to Zamfara, I declare peace. From Banu to Banu, from Maduguri to Maiduguri, I call for peace. Peace in the Niger Delta. Peace in Arondi Zogu. Peace in Ekpoma. I call for peace. Peace everywhere. Is it not time you tamed your anger? I call for peace. Onyeka Uwenu calls for peace. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I am Edmund Obilo. They say he was intercepted. What is interception? It's Nnamdi Kanu of IPOB. He was intercepted. How? Why? Are you about to be intercepted? Is it the birth of new nations or the consolidation of fear? Hey, are you there? DSS announced that in the early hours of Thursday, the 1st of July, 2021, a joint team of security operatives raided the residence of Sunday Adeniyi Adeyemo Sunday Igboho. If intelligence spots the stockpiling of arms in the place, it acted to stem the tide. Therefore, Igboho is attacked and Igboho disappears. How? Is this how we were born? Now that the state declares Igboho wanted, will he appear? Is Igboho a pussycat? DSS says, on approach to the residence, the team came under heavy gun attack by 9 men suspected to be Igboho's guard. DSS says 6 of them were armed with AK-47 guns and 3 others with pump-action rifles. What is it about AK-47? Everywhere is AK-47. AK-47 is everywhere. Is it not time to tame our guns? Oh, we are shooting at ourselves. The radio man is here. How are you? Are you there? Say hello to the radio station. 0809155 51055. 08056998678. And follow me on social media. Fly with me. I have taken off. What about you? Let's meet in the sky and define a new land. Hello.
Good
Hello, morning.
Yeah, this is Matade Pisa.
Good to hear you this morning.
Yeah, good to hear you too. I would like to start with the issue of the Canada we are discussing this morning. When I was having discussion with people some months ago, and I was saying that the development of attacking security formation is not the way to go. I wrote in one of your write-up on your page on Facebook that even though a clueless and a call of state will not hold exams and work, you are a student of political science and you know some of the elements that the state have to protect. When you are talking about security formation and security, territorial integrity of the state is part of this. Even though a clueless and a call of state will not hold exams and work. The way it was interpreted, you are also a student of international relations. You know how the policy is being played in international arena, and you know how countries deal with their allies, and you know the intricacies of Interpol. And even though there are some of the issues, there are some of the intelligence that will continue to be highly implicit to us. The government, they have their intelligence, they have intelligence gathering. Even though there are some of the allies that will share intelligence with them, with you and I do not have access to. So you see the way it was even apprehended, nobody knew. Even though when it was a country, nobody knew. So it's only those that have clearance codes to those classified information. And with the issue of Sunday Igboho, I think I would have preferred, even though they have intelligence to arrest him, I think would have been done in a broader light. But at the end of the day, but looking at it from another perspective, probably the DSS thought probably they're going to resistance going to be much. A lot of people are going to resist that kind of that kind of arrest. And I believe would have been done in a proper way of going there in the morning, not to break in, in the midnight or something like that. So, and as what you said, I see.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you. Thank you. Solid points. Solid points. Analysis on state affairs. Did you listen to that caller? Hey, let me hear your analysis. Good morning. 080-569-98678. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, Mr. Johnson is my name. I'm calling from Ibadan here.
Happy to hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm also happy to hear your voice, Mr. Edmund. Now, I want to talk about the attack on Iboho's residence. I want you to ask the DSL, where were they going by 2 a.m. in the midnight? Is it a proper way of doing things? Why do they not invite Iboho officially? Drop a letter in his house, invite him. Please tell the authorities that they should civilize. They should do things in a civilized manner than going to his house armed with a truckload of soldiers to do what? If Iboho has been fight, let them invite him. Then if he refuses to appear, they will not declare him wanted. But going to his house at the business hour of the day is absurd. It's an absurdity. Thank you, sir.
Absurdity. Absurd. Okay. At night. Didn't Nicodemus go to Jesus Christ at night? What is it about night? Now, DSS stormed Igboho's home at night. Perhaps DSS likes night. Huh? Let the DSS operate in the dark. That is why it's DSS. But do you wonder why they didn't get Igboho? Is it true that Igboho disappeared? You know, I have heard this many times. Different stories of how some kings can disappear, how certain persons disappear. So DSS had to take a pussycat from the compound. They were not ready to take any chances. Perhaps Igboho was the pussycat. Is Igboho a pussycat? Oh, there are so many questions the DSS should answer. Will Igboho help us? Where is Sunday Igboho? The state declares him wanted. The state is powerful, you know. The state has the institutions of oppression. That is why it's not easy to take on the state, the government of the state, because they have the extreme instruments of violence. But because it is the government of the state that is using the violence, you can call it legitimate violence. But when non-state actors begin to exert themselves, also using those instruments of violence, loyalty and authority to the state falls. Okay. I am carefully watching. I hope you are watching too. Hello. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Edmund, good morning. Great topic, great subject. I don't know, I think as much as...
Hello. What happened to him? Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Femi from Ibadan.
Femi is here.
Yeah. About the Nnamdi Kanu's issue, I was actually talking to some people over the course of the week, and I was trying to liken what happened to Nnamdi Kanu to Alexei Navalny.
these Putin critics. Navalny was in Germany in a safe haven over there, but he needed to go back to Germany, to Russia rather, so as to complete his assignment. So I was telling them, I said, there are a whole lot of conspiracies about Nnamdi Kanu coming back to Nigeria. So I really want to believe Nigerian government didn't just, because I don't so much believe in intelligence in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu actually gave himself to be arrested just to accomplish his mission, just as Alexei Navalny is now in Russia. And I can tell you, Putin dare not touch that man. So Nnamdi Kanu playing into the hands of Nigeria intelligence agency, as they all claim, and then you see Malami addressing Nigerians in Hausa, which I became so much surprised.
Is Hausa not a language?
Hausa is a language, but not a general acceptable language in Nigeria.
You can address me in Yoruba, I don't mind.
No, you are talking to a group of different ethnic of constitution. You don't talk to Nigerians in Hausa alone. You talk to us in English. We were colonized by the British, so we all speak English. That's our general language. So when I saw Malami talking to Nigerians in Hausa, I became surprised, and I started agreeing to the fact of this Fulanization agenda people have been talking about. So I told these people, well, personally, it could be my own personal opinion, that Nnamdi Kanu played into the Nigerian agency willingly.
Thank you.
And they all played their game well.
Thank you. Thank you. Who is on the line? Say hello to the radio man.
Good morning, Mr. Radio Man. God bless you for your words and experience and everything you tell us to update us about these issues.
Thank you.
It's not as much as they say DSS deals with information and intelligence. I think there was a very high tendency that even if they had made the attack early in the morning, they won't be successful. It is very obvious. Because I think I still don't understand what protecting or securing has to do with vandalization. Upholding justice is understandable, but vandalizing somebody's property is a different thing. Now, upon all this issue, my point is, if the federal government can put so much energy, and in less than a month they can capture Nnamdi Kanu, what is happening to these bandits and the long-term terrorism of Boko Haram? Why are they not pumping that same energy to work on these people as well?
Are you sure they are not pumping enough energy? They are buying jets.
I don't think so, sir, because with all due respect, if you see how, like we both see the news and everything, you can see how lately everybody has been so concerned about Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB insecurities and issues. And they could do something. You know what I'm saying? Because it has been more like people were more concentrated on Nnamdi Kanu than Boko Haram and bandits. And I feel if they want to work, they will work. So why are they not pumping that same energy into bandits and terrorism?
So because you are telling the president to pump the energy there?
Exactly. Because if they want to work, I think they will work.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Kola Lori from Ibadan.
Mr. Kola Lori, good to have you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. About Sunday ago, it amused me, and then I don't even know what to say. Why a security agent will go to someone's house in the midnight, and you expect such person? Mr. Obilo, let me ask you a question. If someone comes to your house with a gun, started shooting, you will not shoot in the midnight. Won't you defend yourself if you have anything to do that? And now they are saying when they got there, they met the sister. Why wouldn't they met the sister? Have they ever invited Mr. Sunday Igboho before now? And have the man declined not to come to them? Why doing that? We have bandits, we have Boko Haram, we have a certain Gumi that is even taking selfie picture with gun, with bandits. Have anything ever happened with him? I think this country is gone already. Thank you.
Thank you for calling the radio station. All right. Let me tell you this story. It's about Nigeria. I want to make some points. The Nigerian government is overplaying its military power over its citizens that have taken up arms. And the government is downplaying and largely ignoring its economic fragility. The Buhari government places huge premium on maintaining huge military force over a poverty-stricken people. And when I look at that, the president is believing that this method paves the way for peace and that the political leadership may continue its rascally destruction of national wealth. It's a doomed adventure, and that adventure has overrun its time. I hope the president understands. The beleaguered operations come from eroding supports, as you can see. The support of the political system is dwindling. And they become ineffectual as more citizens take to arms in the line of self and national destruction. This picture painted by the governor of Niger State, Abubakar Bello, shows how helpless a governor has become in protecting the lives of his people despite the huge budget for the military.
The situation is critical and it's terrible. Last night we had over 3,000 people here from communities that have been displaced by bandits and Boko Haram elements around Munya and Shiro local governments. However, some of them have started going back to their various homes, and there are some other communities that we think are safe, they can go back. But the vast majority of them will have to remain here because their towns have been taken over by bandits and Boko Haram elements. Their wives have been seized from them. Their wives have been forcefully attached to Boko Haram members elements. In fact, I just heard they've already placed their flag in Kauri. So, which means they've taken over the territory. And this is what I've been engaging the federal government with. And unfortunately, it has now gotten to this stage that if care is not taken, nobody, not even Abuja, is safe. We have been saying this for long. We've been saying this, and all efforts have been in vain. I hope with the outcome of these banditry activities and terrorist activities, I hope the time has come now to see reasons for a very coordinated military action to take place so that we displace. The Boko Haram elements are trying to use these areas as their home, just like they did in Sambisa. Well, Sambisa is hundreds of kilometers away from Abuja, but Kaure is less than 2 hours drive to Abuja, so nobody is safe anymore. Not even Abuja is safe. So this is the time to act. But everybody, all hands must be on deck. All hands must be on deck. It's not for Niger State alone, no. It's for everybody to act. We have made all the efforts we need to do, and we have done it. We have tried our best. I am confirming that we have Boko Haram elements in Niger State around Kauri. They've taken over the territory. They've installed their flag. I'm confirming that now. They've taken over the wives of people by force.
I can see a catastrophic misreading of history because the people are internalizing their local cultures and ideas while fighting against their national identity. As the government erodes its reserves of soft power because of the attractiveness of overwhelming military exploit, it will find itself accumulating the debris of war and compounding its economic woes. Instead of enhancing the unity of the state, the government of the day seriously weakens it. Under this condition, the armed forces come under huge strain as deployment gets steadily longer, as retention rate and recruitment standards fall, and the army lose some of its brightest fighters. It's a serious situation. It's a hard condition. Bello Masari is the governor of Katsina State. He's tired of the actions of bandits. Bello Masari speaks to his people.
I think it is time, not only for us in Kaduna, for this country, for all of us, to put our country first. A bandit or an armed robber does not ask you your membership card of a political party. It doesn't ask you which mosque you pray or which church you go. So this issue, there is no really political leverage or advantage anybody think he can take on this situation. I think we should learn a lesson. We have been battling with this for the last 6 years, at least when we came into office. But it has been in existence since 2010. Why has it not abated? It means there's something we're not doing correctly. We are not involving everybody. We sit in the comfort of our houses and seek the policeman who is posted to Kafur local government. Kafur local government has over 200 villages. How many policemen have you sent to my local government? So you don't have the manpower, you don't have the capacity. And the challenges of equipment, this is a reality. Since we know this, I think the era of blaming the military, blaming the police is over. If there's any failure, we should blame ourselves now.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
That is gunshot. The governor of Borno State being attacked in Baga. That's gunshot. On approach to the residence, the team came under heavy gun attack by 9 men suspected to be Igboho's guards. 6 of them were armed with AK-47. Was that the kind of sound that was heard that night? It's a land of guns. Is it not time to tame the guns? It's about the state of the nation, about the pain of the land. The army kills to survive, and non-state actors kill to exist. They are killing themselves, denying the state the services of a youthful population born to build it. National productivity nosedives as the country gets poorer. The state is killing its citizens in the name of fighting crime. The state is not asking, how did we get to this level of crime? The people of the state take up arms against their government. Is it not time to reason? How many army will kill the Nigerian people? Remember, the mother of the army is a civilian. She lives with us. The brother of the soldier man is our friend. He lives with us. For how long would the soldier be on the road, killing the citizen he should be protecting in the name of fighting insurgency? Do we want to decimate the power of our youth who will build the future? No, we must stop the killings. They kill themselves. Father Ejike Mbaka is here. Ejike Mbaka talks about job creation. He talks about 2023 election. It's Ejike Mbaka here.
Let them do what they should do. Because when the major catastrophe will happen in the future, they will not be exempted. If they like, let them jail everybody. Let them put everybody handcuffed. That is not the solution. Let them feel the pains in the lives of the teeming Nigerians. Go to the outside land and see how people are suffering. But if few are billionaires in dollars, what are they doing with those dollars? Billionaires. Go to Lagos in Yoruba land. You experience multi-billion-dollar people. Yet, many Yoruba people are still in a pauperous level. Go to what TV, Benue areas, and banditry and kidnapping has become a business. At times, you pay ransom, they will still kill the people, the person. Come down to Igbo land here. Here becomes a hub, a zone for suffering. It doesn't mean that Nigeria is not blessed. If all the monies they are packing for election 2023 are released and they are used to build industries, or the money that are being used to procure ammunition, to be shooting and killing victims, whom they call victims, bandits, and now here they go to the police and army. Are you fighting with who? Use the money and create jobs. Kidnapping will vanish. Banditry will end. Terrorism will be a thing of the past. Who is fooling who?
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
The army of a poor state like Nigeria can only be a tool of destruction as military and political power rest on economic strength. With unemployment above 30%, how many Nigerians will be killed to bring victory to the military against the people they were set up to protect? The point is that sustenance of peace is dependent on a country's productive capacity. It's about the dynamism of the economy. I want you to read this book, When China Rules the World, written by Martin Jakes. In the book, Martin says, a precondition for being a hegemonic power, including the ability or otherwise to preside over a formal or informal empire, is economic strength. This was seen in the world's first industrial revolution that consolidated Britain as a global power, the reason it easily colonized a country like Nigeria. Borrowing from the British industrial experience were France, Germany, and other colonial powers. When European powers lost their economic strength following the Second World War, they began to lose their colonies. This applies to countries and their citizens. As Buhari talks of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, he buys more guns to shoot creativity and innovation out of them, and they grow poorer from the pandemonium that follows. Ejike Mbaka has something to say.
If our leaders will not be careful and do what they should do to put Nigeria in a good platform, one day this country will collapse. If they don't do what they should do, and the youths keep suffering, and the jobs are not provided, and the leaders are busy amassing wealth, keeping monies for themselves, and these teeming millions of Nigerian youths are watching them. A time is coming when what we're experiencing now will just be biscuits.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
As Nigerians grow poorer, the government begins to lose legitimacy and authority, leading to insurrections as presently seen. When the economy is robust, peace becomes inevitable. Therefore, Nigeria is witnessing a decline in its value of the lives of its citizens as a result of a poor economy made worse by a weak leadership. At this point, President Buhari should rise above self-interested bargaining for public-spirited deliberations. We have to craft sufficient and coherent fundamental values for development. Nigeria at this time needs the rational and enduring concept of an enlightened public. Akiriade, our former Chief of Army Staff, speaks of the Nigerian project.
This morning, somebody posted the report of a meeting. Lee Kuan Yew was here. 65 days after he left, Gowon became head of state. And Gowon, when he was already 65 days in office, also called a meeting of the North, the West, the East, and the Midwest. They were all represented by very high caliber people. Baba Olo was there, Nauru, Eyo, and the rest of them were there. If you see the report of that meeting, it is obvious that the North knew exactly what they wanted. And what has happened now is because we have put up this rent society, their successors now saw Nigeria as a milking cow. And that is why suddenly they developed this idea that they don't know what Nigeria should be like. They were all agreed that any of those regions can form its own itself into whatever they want. They can create states there, they can create whatever they want, but they have to do it. Second, they have to be able to account for themselves. That means they have to earn everything that they require, and they can develop anytime they like. And there was a major clause which says anyone who wants to opt out of that Nigeria is free to do so. The reports are there. And I just want us to know that it is this rent society, this oil and everything that came where people can eat without working is what informed this confusion that the Northerners are now putting to the table.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Innocent blood of your people. Whoa, oh yeah. Whoa, oh. Jah shall clean out the bad weeds, yeah, and separate them from the good, cause the day of harvest is near. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, oh. Jah shall clean out the bad weeds, yeah, and separate them from the good, cause the day of harvest is near. Whoa, 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 oh. Woe be unto those that say they have Israel, and they are not. Woe be unto those that say they're Jews, and they are not. Cause they shall be cast away, like the chaff that the wind drive it away, I say, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Splash FM 105.5.
Oda, ìyáàfin, àwọn àmì wo la ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ gan-an? Ṣé ó máa ń pẹ́ lórí ẹ̀rọ ọ̀pẹ ni?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, dókítà.
Ó dẹ̀ tún máa ń pẹ́ lórí ayélujára.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ó máa ń pẹ́ gan-an ni dókítà.
Ó yé mi. Dátà rẹ̀ ò dẹ̀ kí n tán àbí?
Dókítà, kókó ojú ọ̀rọ̀ náà ni pé tí kò bá sí lórí ìpè, a máa wo eré, tá a máa rẹ́rìn-ín débi pé ẹ máa gbọ́ ní máìlì 8.
Ìyáàfin, ọkọ yín ti kó Glow Bẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀tẹ̀ fever.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, ẹ̀yin náà kó Glow Bẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀tẹ̀ fever. Tẹ́ ẹ bá forúkọ sílẹ̀, tẹ́ ẹ sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní lo síìmù Glow tuntun yín, ẹ gbà àfikún $6 lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Yóò fẹ́ tó àfikún $100 kan lórí gbogbo ètò data yín, kẹ́ ẹ lè wà lórí ayélujára, kẹ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀, kẹ́ ẹ sì dọ́wẹ́kẹ̀ dìgbà tó bá wù yí. Àwọn alábàáṣòwò wa tuntun àti tó ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀ yóò jẹ àfikún $7 ní gbogbo ìgbà tí wọ́n bá ra káàdì. Ẹ kàn sí Glow World tó bá súnmọ́ ẹ̀yin jù tàbáwọn alágbàtà wa láti ṣèforúkọsílẹ̀, kẹ́ ẹ sì máa lo síìmù yín lọ.
Unlimited.
Need to see the best performance in person?
With almost 100,000 Instagram followers and over 100,000 followers on Twitter. Wow! And more than 250,000 followers on Facebook. Our followers are our greatest assets. Join our social media family for breaking news, daily information, and giveaways. On Instagram and Twitter at Splash FM 1055, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Splash FM 105.5.
Ibadan, Kiniso! Are you ready for the first ever Premier Block Party? That's right, we have shut down Lagos, Abuja, Accra, Ghana, and now the Block Party ship is finally here in the Asian city of Ibadan. So get ready to turn up in style at the Vibe of all vibes as you join your favorites and friends at this exciting experience on the 3rd of July from 3 p.m. at the Trans Amusement Park. Come turn up like never before with your favorites like Buju, Reminisce, Ruga, Black Bones, Smalls the DJ, Shody the Turn Up King, and lots more. You definitely don't want to miss this. Tickets are available for sale online at www.theblockparty.world or physically at Cafe 24, Otis Lounge, and Stone Cafe. It's the first ever Premier Block Party, so come experience pop culture as we vibe all the way to Mars.
Media partner, Splash 105.5 FM.
Every picking love, healthy current drink. Every time, everywhere. Our choice. For them grown-ups, choose better sweet. Yummy creamy. Probiotics healthy.
Bobo na that fine better pikin drink. We get plenty vitamins and minerals to make our pikins them they sharp, bright, fine and healthy. It get different flavors and they available for shops nationwide. Yogo yogurt, na that sweet, fine, better, yummy, tasty, creamy yogurt where they make specially for you with plenty vitamins and minerals plus ogbonge probiotics for your good health. It get different flavors and they available everywhere nationwide. Them be product of Bobo Fruits and Beverages.
A fully furnished, nice and comfortable hostel accommodation in University of Ibadan, or a place for seminars and executive trainings at the same venue? You do not have to worry. Adebayo Akonde Hall suits your lodging needs and provides you a home away from home. Adebayo Akonde Hall is a 4-star hostel built in a serene environment with constant supply of electricity. It has fully furnished rooms that gives you great comfort at an affordable price. Adebayo Akonde Hall is located at Ajibode Extension, University of Ibadan. To make reservations, visit www.adebayohall.com or call the numbers 0805-699-8718, 0805-699-8719, 0805-699-8720. Adebayo Akonde Hall. Built for comfort. Built for you.
OneXBet oh, OneXBet. Everybody don sabi say OneXBet na the ogbonge place to cash out now because na dem get the highest odds, sharp deposits, ability to sell slips, bet insurance and more. Wetin dey totori body pass be say you fit make money from things like virtual games, basketball, horse racing and many more. Just log on to onexbet.ng to register and make you no forget to use the promo code RadioWin to get 200% bonus on top your first deposit. OneXBet, bets for every taste.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
DSS announced that in the early hours of Thursday, 1st of July 2021, a joint team of security operatives raided the residence of Sunday Adeyemo. If intelligence spots the stockpiling of arms in his house, it acted to stem the tide, right? Therefore, Igboho is attacked and Igboho disappears. Is this why we were born? Now that the state declares Igboho wanted, will he appear? Is Igboho a pussycat? On approach to the residence, the DSS says the team came under heavy gun attack by 9 men suspected to be Igboho's guards. 6 of them were armed with AK-47 guns, DSS announces, and 3 of them had pump-action rifles. What is it about AK-47? Everywhere is AK-47. AK-47 is everywhere. Is it not time to tame the guns? Oh, we are shooting at ourselves. Peter Afunaya, working for the DSS, addresses the press on Sunday, Igbo.
This is a press briefing holding at the national headquarters of the Department of State Services, DSS Abuja, on a joint security operation carried out on the 1st of July at Ibadan, Oyo State. In the early hours, about 10:34 hours to be precise, today, 1st July 2021, a joint team of security operatives raided the residence of Sunday Adeniyi Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, Ashoka, Ibadan, Oyo State. This was based on intelligence that he has stockpiled arms in the place. On approach to the residence, the team came under heavy gun attack by 9 men suspected to be Igboho's guards. 6 of them were armed with AK-47 gun and 3 others with pump-action rifles. In the course of the exchange, 2 of Igboho's armed men were gunned down, while the rest were subdued and arrested. Only 1 operative, who was shot by the assailants on his right hand, sustained injury. He has, however, received medical attention and is very stable. Afterwards, the team procedurally searched the house of Igboho and subsequently recovered the following items amongst others: 7 AK-47 assault rifles, as you can see on display, 3 pump-action rifles, they are also there, 30 fully charged AK-47 magazines, 5,000 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, 5 cutlasses, 1 jackknife, 1 penknife, 2 pistol holsters, 1 binoculars, a wallet containing $5 in $1 denomination, local and international driver's licenses in his name, ATM cards, a German residence permit number Y02N6K1NY bearing his name, 2 whistles, 50 cartridges, 18 walkie-talkies, 3 voodoo charm jackets or traditional body armor, 2 laptops, 1 Toshiba, and 1 compact, and his international passport and those of many others as displayed there. Further exploitation and forensic analysis of these items and others are ongoing. You may wish to note that aside the items recovered from the building, about 13 suspects About 13 suspects, including 12 males and 1 female, were arrested and brought to Abuja.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
The program is State Affairs. Dapo Falade is here. He is a journalist. Dapo, good to have you on State Affairs.
Edward, good morning this morning.
Is Sunday Igboho in trouble?
Yes and no. Yes, because he's fighting against the state. And the state has a very, very formidable force to tackle an individual. But while I say no, we know that Nigeria is in trouble. Sunday Igboho is just a minute part of the country called Nigeria. So if Sunday is in trouble, I can say virtually all Nigerians living are in trouble.
Barrister Ola Adeosun, good to have you on State Affairs.
Good morning. Thank you, Edmund. Thank you for having me.
Is Sunday Igboho confronting the state?
Yes, he is.
How?
Just like the average angry Nigerian on the street. Virtually everybody is confronting the state, but our approach just varies. I'm confronting the state. I'm sure you are. I've listened to some of your utterances, and every sane human being who is a Nigerian that loves Nigeria would naturally confront the state.
If we confronted the state, are we not the state?
We are supposed to be the state. But the truth is that we have some people who owes the state in trust for us. And these are the states because they have the coercive force of the states in their custody while you and I don't. And they may decide to use it positively or negatively. Like they are using it presently, and we all know, we all see by the day.
But what is wrong about storming the house at night?
In fact, I find it very, very curious. Like the man from DSS just said, that the place was stormed around 1:30 in the night. For God's sake, you wanted to carry out an arrest. You made an accusation that somebody is stockpiling arms here and there in his house. Has he been invited? I think, I'm not a lawyer, but thank God we have a lawyer in the house. Was the guy ever invited?
How do you invite a man that you have intelligence that he has AK-47?
Igboho said he was never invited. And again,
the question is that,
Edmund, it is a matter of allegation.
Listen, DSS has intelligence that they are stockpiling arms there. So, and you want the DSS to invite the person?
It is an allegation. You have to invite the person. Even when you see an armed robber.
It's not an allegation. They say they have intelligence. And you can see the AK-47.
And it is by going there as if you are going to war. That is how you are going to.
They are going to meet AK-47 men. So they were prepared for war.
And even the man said that right from the entrance that they encounter a war. But it was surprising that, after maybe an hour of gun duel battle, one of the security operatives was just wounded in the hand, while 2 were killed on the side of Sunday Igboho.
Because the state is powerful.
The state is powerful. They are so powerful, they even went to the extent of allegedly removing the surveillance camera. What's the point in doing that?
Was that force maximum force?
Yes, it was maximum force.
Does it deserve maximum force?
Well, save for the way Nigeria is currently, the law allows the use of force in the course of such operations. The law also allows the DSS or any security agents, that is, if there is a valid warrant, search warrant issued by a court of law, if the DSS has a valid search warrant, they can execute it at any time of the day, whether 1 p.m., whether 1 a.m., whether 3 midnight, whether in the evening. And where that is by the virtue of the provision of Section 148 of the Admission of Criminal Justice Act. They can execute it even on Sundays. They can execute it even on a public holiday. That is where there is a search warrant. So far, the DSS have not told us they have a search warrant to do what they did. If they have done what they did without a search warrant, then it is a flagrant violation of the law. If you have an intelligence, yes, it is reasonable that when you have an intelligence of such that somebody is stockpiling arms, to confront the state, and you want to do that, the courts are open for you to get a search warrant to do that. That is why I said, save for the current state of Nigeria. Because the state of Nigeria today, you recall that the chief of defense staff, when Nigerians were complaining that the state is not protecting them, the state that collects our money, that collects taxes, that collects our petroleum money, the crude oil money and everything, that are meant to give us protection as provided by the Constitution, are not doing that. The chief of defense staff, the minister of defense, went on international television to tell the world that Nigerians should defend themselves. Nigerians should not ask governments to defend them against AK-47 wielding bandits and herdsmen. That was the exact words of the chief of the minister of defense. And in such situation, I'm very sure the minister of defense will not expect Nigerians to defend themselves with claws or with stones against somebody wielding AK-47 rifle. It would naturally expect you and I to procure AK-47. The question now is, where do I get it? How do I get the money to get it? Now going to the Sunday Igboho's case again. This man, he has come out to say the rifles displayed were not taken from his house. That he did not own those rifles. He was never in custody of these rifles. That he protects himself with charms. That was his defense. The DSS has not helped matters too, because from eyewitness account that is everywhere on the social media, which may not be true. I've been to that house before. I know there used to be CCTV camera. I've passed through that community. I've seen CCTV camera installed. Now they said the DSS men removed the installed CCTV cameras. This is not. This looks like. This looks similar to what happened at Lekki Toll Gate. In the middle of the night, in darkness, then you remove CCTV, you destroy CCTV camera, and you take it away.
So can we tell me when the state operates at night? At
night, under the cover of night, especially when you destroy stuff that could record your activities.
It's an angry state.
It creates room for suspicion of criminality on the part of the state.
Can the state commit crime?
Yes, the state can. And that is why the law provides rooms for citizens to sue the states for the enforcement of their rights.
Let's listen to Sunday Igboho.
And that is why we have the International Criminal Court to take care of certain elements of the states when certain things happen.
The state is not infallible.
The state is not infallible, no doubt.
All right, Sunday Igboho speaks to the BBC.
So around 1:30 I just hear place spray blade in the front, gunshot in front of my house. Papa. Sunday will come out. We are DSS, we are soldier, we are do this. I peeped through in the window. I saw them with uniform, DSS uniform and soldier, Nigerian army. I was surprised that what is problem? Because I never kill anybody, I never fight with anybody. What I'm doing is to fight for my people. Then all the rally I'm doing is a peaceful rally. So I fight for my family because all the Fulani bandits kill my family, rape them, kidnap them, take ransom from them. So that I know some government refuse to do the right thing for my family. That's why I come out to support my family to fight for our rights. So I was surprised.
So you were in the house this morning when they came?
Yes.
We saw blood on the ground. We saw that were people killed? How many people were taken away? If people were taken away?
Yes, they killed. There was a two guy. There are two guys at the cave around 2 o'clock in the morning when shooting too much. So then he destroyed all my property. destroy all my vehicles, all my houses, all the property I have. I have like a 2 million inside my wardrobe.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Peter Afunaya of the DSS tells us more about the raid.
Gentlemen of the press, the highlights of this brief are to inform Nigerians and the world that Sunday Igboho and his group, in the guise of campaign for self-determination, have become well-armed and determined to undermine public order. This, the arrests and seizures, are no doubt a confirmation of a grand plan by Igboho and his cohorts to wage a violent insurrection against the Nigerian state. Another is to alert foreign missions and licensing authorities within and outside Nigeria about this development and the possibility that Igboho could declare some of his personal permits and identity cards missing in order to seek their replacement. It is also to appraise stakeholders that the 5 AK-47 rifles, assault rifles recovered from the building, are suspected to be those collected by Igboho's men from Nigerian customs and immigration personnel at Idiroko in Ogun State. I think last month or thereabouts.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
The program is State Affairs, and I'm discussing with Barrister Ola Adeosun and Dakbo Falade. We are looking at the man, Sunday Igboho. His profile is rising. We can now say Sunday Igboho has become an international subject. How did he get there?
It's not funny, but we do find some people in positions even when they not plan for it. But if you look at the Nigerian situation, we can easily affirm that definitely some people will come to the scene. People will see them either as liberators or as fomenters of trouble.
So how is Sunday Igboho being seen?
Igboho today, in the eye of the public, is being seen as a liberator. The state may be against him, but I can tell you categorically that here in the Southwest, majority of the people are seeing Igboho in a new light.
Barrister Adeosun, is Igboho taking us on the road to redemption?
Well, let me start by answering your earlier question to him. Sunday Igboho is a making of the Nigerian state. Sunday Igboho is just one ordinary person who goes around doing his business, whether legitimately or otherwise, as known to many of us on the streets of Ibadan over the years. Unfortunately, the Nigerian state having failed in its responsibility to provide security for the people of Nigeria, and precisely the people of Oyo State. Sunday Igboho feeling that the madness of criminality has been perpetrated by Fulani, some criminal elements of Fulani stocks in his hometown and his domain, in his area of Okeogun and the Barapa axis of Oyo State, was getting so much that he has a feeling that it was already getting to him. He decided to put his life on the line and no, we have to put these people back. And since then, the Nigerian state built that behemoth out of him that he currently has. And that now led to the current stage of demanding for a Yoruba nation or Yoruba state. The natural thing one would expect a sane state to do, or a sane leadership to do, would be after he took the first step he took back then in sending Seriki Fulani out of Ibadan. A sane state or a sane leadership would take charge thereafter and install security, install normalcy, make the people feel at home. At that point, Igboho would have fizzled out of relevance. But unfortunately, what do we have? We had a state that went to sleep, that made some noise, criticized him, condemned him without shame. Because a shameful leadership would be sober that this man became what he is because we failed. And if they are ashamed, they will not talk. Both in the states and at the federal level, they were so shameless that they were criticizing and condemning him. And thereafter, they failed to take steps.
So perhaps the state does not have the capacity for sober reflection.
Well, because we have shameless elements within the management of the state affairs.
Even talking about a state not having the capacity, I mean, it speaks negatively bad about them, either at the state level or at the national level. The people came together, leaving the state of nature to surrender their freedom onto some set of people either elected or appointed to take care of their interest and their welfare. But to all intents and purposes, we can say that the leadership, the state is failing in carrying out its responsibility.
Not failing.
It has failed woefully. Now, people are taking laws onto their hands. Even the president told us sometimes, he told the governors, very recent, that you can't expect me to be in Abuja and be securing your state for you.
But they won't release the police.
But you are not releasing the police to these governors. So what are we talking about?
You want him to release the police that protects him?
We have police all over the country. People are asking for state police. You said no.
Buhari likes the police in his hands.
Okay, so the police should just take care of some individuals in government and not the people.
Fund your Amotekun.
People, the governors in the southwest formed Amotekun. We knew what the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of the Federation did. He declared Amotekun illegal. We should give credit to these governors in the southwest that they insist on having Amotekun.
You can't have Amotekun. I mean, the Amotekun that we have as presently constituted, as far as I'm concerned, is more of a charade.
Exactly.
You add an Amotekun in quotes to confront AK-47 wielding elements, and you handed din guns over to them, and you expect results.
Are you sure they didn't give them traditional armor?
Edmund,
I'm a realist. Look, I'm a realist. I have certain experiences, and I know that to the extent that I know, I can assure you that those so-called traditional armors, there's limit to the kind of guns they can repel. That I can tell you confidently. Those so-called traditional armors, there's limits to the kind of guns. You can't tell me that one traditional armor is going to repel Uzi rifle. It will be extremely difficult. Getting such armor. If such armors are that practical, the white men wouldn't have conquered our forefathers. They had those armors in excess. But the white men conquered them. Then even the white man doesn't have this kind of guns. You know, they can't conquer our forefathers.
So Sunday Igboho should beware.
He should be careful.
Be careful.
However, you see, like I've always said, some of us are practical fighters. Some of us are practical activists. So you see, when you fight the states, when you engage the states in such a serious and practical manner, you will know that it is not a tea party. It is not a campaign party.
Look at what we have on the front page.
You are bound to go to prisons. You are bound to go to cells. You are bound to be detained. Some of us were detained severally. We were just lucky that we were not killed during the days of the military in our fight to have democracy. Some of us were just lucky. Many people died in the course of. But as at that time we were doing it, we had a feeling that we may die in the course of it, but some other persons will continue. It was an idea. Now, if Sunday Igboho is killed today senselessly, without the state doing what they should do, because if I were to be in a position of authority, I will not act the way the state is acting. I will profile Sunday Igboho. I will act in a different manner, And this whole thing will not degenerate to this level. If they kill Sunday Igboho, thousands of Sunday Igboho would emerge. In fact, with the attack on Sunday Igboho's home, Edmund, go and write it down. Hundreds of pockets of Sunday Igbohos would emerge anytime from now.
Igboho goes underground, whereabout unknown to associates, phones off.
It is quite expected.
Weapons paraded by DSS don't belong to Igboho, says Media Aid. You find that rider on the front page of the Saturday Punch. Police in show of force as agitators insist on Lagos rally today. DSS manhunt, Igboho goes underground. Whereabout unknown to associate, phones off. Has he moved into the jungle?
You know, in the course of the arrest, we were told that a cat was arrested too. I still need to, I want to know more how Igbo, you know, the DSS people, they were not able to tell us how Igbo escaped. They were just telling us that in the course of the shooting, he escaped. If you go to somewhere with the sole mind to arrest, and you engage some people in a form of battle, I think you should be vigilant enough to know. They must have carried out their own surveillance before that fateful night. They should be able to know the escape route. Probably Igboho was the cat that disappeared. We need to know.
Why do we not pay serious attention to some of these mistakes? Because one of Igboho's boys gave an interview to Vanguard saying that when the battle became tough, Igboho entered the room and disappeared. Can Igboho disappear?
Well, I've heard so much about people disappearing. Because I am not into it, I may not be able to say so much about that. It's a possibility. We have heard so much about it happening. I mean, we've had stories of such taking place. But that shouldn't even be our worry.
Why?
At the moment.
Can't I want to know how they make that jazz. Can't we codify it, give it formula? That we will not be buying bulletproof from Germany. We create our own local...
yes, I agree. If those things really exist...
We can codify.
No, if those things truly exist, I agree with you that the state should look into it and work towards making it more useful, even for the states.
I read a report yesterday.
So I
read a report yesterday that one of those guys killed at the scene of the exchange.
Yes, I read it too.
That he was shot several times. The bullet couldn't penetrate into his body. But eventually that these security operatives used a mortar
and they slaughtered him.
And in fact, it may not be entirely true, but the DSS people are not even helping matters. You killed somebody and took the body away.
And during your press conference, you didn't parade the
body. So where is the body? Where is the body?
Perhaps that operation is a high power operation.
Edmund, no matter how high powered it is, we have seen police kill people, parade the corpse. We would have expected that those corpses would have been paraded with the suspects arrested.
We saw the blood.
Look, if it is true that they dismembered or slaughtered those persons, I can assure you it's going to create serious crisis both local and internationally for them if those bodies are paraded. So the best thing they will do is probably on their way to Abuja, they just dump the bodies in some bushes or in some rivers. Because for them not to have displayed those bodies, something is wrong. And that should be the demand of every serious and sane Nigerian. Personally, look, let me put this on record. Personally, I'm not a supporter of the agitation for Yoruba Nation. I don't believe in it. I believe, and I'm not a supporter of the current state of Nigeria, the way it is structured. My own demand had always been in tandem with the demand of Afenifere for the restructuring of this country, politically, economically, and security-wise. When that is done, I can assure you many of these agitators for secession would go on the ground because their problems would have been taken care of. But because the state is one that is the current people at the management of our affairs are a set of persons who lack ideas, who are attached to certain sentiments, and it's unfortunate. They don't want this. So and that's why Nigeria is in this state.
You even talking about restructuring. I had a face-off with somebody yesterday on the Facebook. You said even if Yoruba wants to break away, it should be in accordance with the constitution that we are having in this country. And I told him there is no way any part of the country will be allowed to go in tandem with the constitution.
The constitution does not even make provision.
It doesn't make provision for it. And majority of Nigerians are agitated.
Yeah,
they are tired of what is happening across board.
Should Sunday Igboho hand himself to the state now?
I wouldn't advise him to hand over himself to the state.
I would not even support that.
I would advise him to get a team of competent lawyers and sue the state. What happened at Sunday Igboho's house so far with the records that we have shows a breach of his fundamental rights.
And to support you.
And that is for now. That is, if I were to advise him, I would advise him to get a team of very good lawyers.
I can
to sue the state, to sue the DSS, sue the Attorney General, sue the police, sue the army.
I can say categorically that the mission there, the evasion was not with the purpose to arrest, but to kill.
Yes, I agree. Because the truth is, if they had gone there to arrest, this argument of Afuna that some people opened fire to some of us does not add water. You came around to a place, people opened fire on you, and nobody died. And just one bullet hit somebody on the hand. Does it mean that those people who opened fire were shooting into the air?
Perhaps.
Oh, they were just shooting into the air, and you decided to shoot at them? Is it logical? For me, it is not logical. Then it will mean that the force used wasn't commensurate to what they met on ground.
Exactly.
If what was on the ground was that those people were shooting into the air and you shot at them,
and even Igboho said
no, you see, the truth is, it is not about what Igboho said. Everybody would want to say things that will favor him. It is not us. It may not be true that everything Igboho said were the correct position.
Yeah.
Just like from what the SSS said, some of us have started picking holes in what they said.
So what next for the Southwest? What do you think this will do to Southwest? Are you going to see people moving into the bush?
Southwest cannot act in isolation. If you look at the general feelings across the country, I think the entire South,
even the North,
the entire
North,
it is prominent. It is gaining preeminence in the South more than the North. Because
I disagree.
What I meant is this: look at what is happening in the Southeast. ESN, people were being killed. In the North, yes, there are agitations like in Benue, Plateau, and maybe Kogi, some part of Kogi State. But it is more prominent in the South here. And the more the state keeps on repressing the people, the more you see people coming out, talking about.
Will Nigeria survive this?
Honestly, I doubt it. If this current set of elements managing the affairs of Nigeria continues to act in the way they are acting, Nigeria may never survive it. Unfortunately, they are not good students of history. These same elements, you recall that IPOB, when IPOB started in the East, they were a set of peaceful people. Up till the time that this government went to court to get a judge or an order of court declaring IPOB an illegal terrorist body, there was no record of any IPOB member being found with a gun. Talk less of shooting somebody. But they declared them a terrorist organization. The moment they did that, I said it, is it on this program or on another program? I said it that the government is going to turn these people into a terrorist organization.
All right, let's leave it to that.
They got armed.
They got armed.
And this is what's going to happen in the Southwest.
Where's Nigeria? We just have to go. Where's Nigeria headed?
Yes, just like Barrister said, Nigeria cannot continue to be a state, to be a nation, given what we have on ground.
We have never been a nation anyway.
People,
we're
a country. People are being repressed. It's only when we have equitable and a just society that is when you see people performing optimally, and these issues being raised about going our different way, but not even come up in the first instance.
Dakpo Falade, thank you for featuring on State Affairs.
You're welcome, my dear brother.
Dakpo is a former deputy editor at Nigerian Tribune. He studied history at the University of Ibadan. Barrister Ola Adeosun, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Edmund.
Barrister Adeosun is a legal practitioner, a human rights activist. The battle is always on the field. In times like this, our people should arise and define their future. Take note, it's not about Buhari anymore. It's about us. I'll be back after this break and I'll be discussing Nnamdi Kanu. Don't go away.
Daganan kilo bejanin kom no moham. Di betamaso sanalom. Muasa benge kaputo.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
Splash FM 105.5.
Guy, you don't see that new funny video for Twitter? That one with the boy. You mean this one? What of that brother Shaggy News Kitty? Where they circulate WhatsApp? Oh, this one. What of that meme? Where the guy?
When mouth open like this, bar.
Mr. No You Talk. Which data you they use know all these things?
Now, Glow new data plans get me.
Are you serious?
With just 50 naira, and they get 50 MB. And with just 100 naira, and they get 150 MB. We have to use chat or browse on top Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and even Snapchat. Don't dull yourself, oh. Dial star 777 hash now. Make you begin the browse they go.
Glow Unlimited.
Did you know chronic stress from work or lifestyle habits may result in fatigue, headaches, and pains? Stress reduces the body's ability to fight diseases, leaving you vulnerable. Your day will be much better knowing you have the right immune support to help you combat symptoms of stress. Immune Active is a premium blend of high-strength vitamin C, zinc, and selenium that helps prevent recurring diseases, improves skin radiance, and boosts confidence. Activate your immune system today with Immune Active. Available at any leading pharmacy store near you and online at oaklifevitamins.com.
Good day. You have a delivery.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's from TGM Education. Yay! Abdul, I'm finally going to study in the UK. TGM Baba for visa. Baba for visa.
Really? So you are leaving me? But how did you do it?
I said TGM Baba for visa.
TGM Education processes admission for schools in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, Ireland, and many more. They offer visa counseling, document arrangement, and process accommodation, all for free. Attend the TGM Education Roadshow at MOV 21 Event Center, MKO Abiola Way, Ring Road, Ibadan, on the 10th of July, 2021. Time, 10 a.m. For more details, call Fola on 0908 077 5662 or visit www.tgmeducation.com. TGM, Baba for visa.
Take it back to the old school classics on Splash 105.5 FM with luminary DJ Eden. Every Saturday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. We'll throw you all the way back to the 90s, 80s, and as far back as the 60s. We'll bring you juju, reggae, disco, new jack swing, and many more. Right here on Splash 105.5 FM. Every Saturday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. The Splash Vintage Sound.
Ibadan, Kiddy Soul. Are you ready for the first ever Premier Block Party?
That's right. We have shut down Lagos, Abuja, Accra, Ghana, and now the block party ship is finally here in the Asian city of Ibadan. So get ready to turn up in style at the Vibe of all vibes as you join your favorites and friends at this exciting experience on the 3rd of July from 3 p.m. at the Trans Amusement Park. Come turn up like never before with your favorites like Buju, Reminisce, Ruga, Black Bones, Smalls the DJ, Shody the Turn Up King, and lots more. You definitely don't want to miss this. Tickets are available for sale online at www.theblockparty.world or physically at Cafe 24, Otis Lounge, and Stone Cafe. It's the first ever premier block party, so come experience pop culture as we vibe all the way to Mars.
Media partner, Splash 105.5 FM.
Splash FM 105.5.
In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmund Obilo, on state affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo. Radio just got deeper. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Going on Edmund Obilo's page on Facebook, I find Shino or Lalere. He says the question is Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho Nigeria's problem? Hope their arrest will bring the price of foodstuff down or halting the severe hunger across the nation. Shino says he won't be distracted by Buhari's diversionary actions. Folusho Odewusi says, Edmund, this action undertaken by the Nigerian state under the leadership of Muhammadu Buhari has shown that the leaders we have been parading are living in the past. Kolade Olajire Oluwatimilehin says, people like Igboho and Kanu reflect the failure of the state. It also gives a pointer to the fact that the leadership question remains unanswered. Olasumbo McTrendy, how are you this morning? Olasumbo writes on Edmund Obilo's page on Facebook saying, so sad that we are not moving forward under Buhari's watch. Akim Shitu is saying the DSS press release shows that what they did at Igbo's house was complete rope. Okay? They padded their comments by saying the guns might be the ones hijacked from the customs at Idi Iroko. It simply means the guns are from the customs and not Igboho's. That's your view. Time and time again, it's about the state. They say he was intercepted. What is interception? It's Nnamdi Kanu of IPOB they talk about. He was intercepted. How? Why? Are you about to be intercepted? Is it the birth of new nations or the consolidation of fear? Yes, he was intercepted. Abubakar Malami is the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Self-acclaimed leader of the proscribed secessionist indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has, for your information, been intercepted through the collaborative efforts of the Nigerian intelligence and security services. He has been brought back to Nigeria in order to continue facing trial after disappearing while on bail regarding 11-count charge against him. He has been accused of engaging in subversive activities that include inciting violence through television, radio, and online broadcast against the Nigerian state and institution. For your information, distinguished members of the press, Kanu is as at now being produced before Federal High Court in continuation of hearing of his case in respect of which he has evaded and indeed jumped bail.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Professor Isaac Olawale Albert is here. Prof, he was intercepted. How?
Well, thank you, Edmund, for inviting me. As a professor of security studies, I think I'm encountering the term intercepted for the first time. Intercepted in the sense that it is difficult for me to put any scientific meaning to the word intercepted. Are you saying he was arrested? Are you saying he was captured? So it's difficult for us to understand what the minister is saying. But be that as it may, let's take his usage of the word intercepted as meaning he was arrested. Now the question is where? How? In which country? Under what circumstances? Because it was not intercepted in Nigeria. Of what diplomatic implications is this interception? And several other questions.
Some say he was intercepted in Kenya.
Did he mention Kenya?
He didn't mention.
He didn't mention
But
Kenya.
journalists are beginning to investigate.
You see, this government has a lot of problems. And I think increasingly the government is becoming an embarrassment to the entire country. Because the image of this country is going down the drain on a daily basis. You have 9 stages of conflict escalation. The first stage of the what is called conflict progression is that a problem occurs. A problem that has to be solved occurs. And then the 9th stage is outcomes vary. Outcomes vary is as a result of movement from progression 1 to 2 to 3 to up to 8, you get to 9. Outcomes varies. And when you say outcome varies, you are saying you find different stakeholders behaving the way they like. And I think that is the stage Nigeria is now. And in between your progression 1 and progression 9, there is a progression 7, which says that perception is distorted. The perception of those leading us in Nigeria today is distorted. The perception of Nigerians is distorted. The perception of the international community about Nigeria is distorted. And when you have so many lines of distortion, the country is going down. Because it is assumed to be a country that is rudderless, a country that lacks a sense of direction, a country in which citizens are confused, a country in which citizens create their own leadership, a country in which citizens create their own means of existence. This is where we are. To me, it is not about Kano. It is about Nigeria, a beautiful country that is being destroyed, attacked from different angles.
Okay.
And I just pray we survive it.
Isaac Olawale Albert is a professor of African history, peace and conflict studies at the Department of Peace, Security, and Humanitarian Studies, University of Ibadan. He is the pioneer dean of the university's Faculty of Multidisciplinary Studies. Professor Albert is a specialist in security analysis, early warning system, peace process planning, peace education, and monitoring and evaluation. He is a conflict management trainer and professional mediator. Can Professor Albert mediate between Kanu and the state?
Well, I think the problem now has gone beyond a simple form of mediation. Our problem has reached a stage where you need international sort of mediation. I'm saying this in the context of the fact that Kanu did not produce himself. Kanu was produced by the questionability of the Nigerian state, the character of the Nigerian state, the character of Nigeria's federalism. Now, people are saying they have issues with the character of the Nigerian state. You respond to this problem in two possible ways. It's either you use the joint problem-solving approach by inviting those who are asking questions, sitting down with them and reaching an agreement on what should be done, or you use force. The Nigerian state has decided to use force. Now, when you are using force, you are dragged into the conventions of what is called just war theory. If you are using force, you must use force according to the existing rules, rule of law, international humanitarian standards. So, when we get to the level we have reached here in Nigeria, in which we have no respect for our own rules of law within the country, we have no respect for international standards, then it is not just a matter of a Professor Albert sitting between Kanu and the Nigerian state. The matter goes beyond, it goes beyond us. You are referring to a situation where a Nigerian was taken from another country, and Nigerians are yet to be told which particular country. And it's a situation in which the United Kingdom has come up to say, look, we are not part of it. The Kenyan ambassador yesterday addressed a press conference yesterday, we are not part of it. Then who is responsible? So in other words, we are saying that it is no longer a Nigerian problem. It is now an international problem. And this is because we have been handling our problems in this country in a very lazy manner.
Lazy?
Very lazy manner.
Let's listen to the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed.
Gentlemen, the federal government wishes to commend the Nigerian Security and Intelligence Services who collaborated to rearrest the proscribed IPOB leader in one of the most classic operations of his type in the world. We commend the professionalism, diligence, patriotism, and painstaking efforts of our security and intelligence agencies. We also thank the sister international agencies that collaborated with us to pull off this arrest. It will interest Nigerians to know that for over 2 years, our security and intelligence agencies were on the trail of the proscribed IPOB leader, as he lived a five-star life across several countries, traveling on chartered private jets, living in luxurious apartments, and turning out in designer clothes and shoes. Of course, as we all saw, he was arrested wearing an attire made by Fendi, a luxury Italian fashion brand. We can tell you that the forensic investigation carried out so far has revealed a treasure trove of information on the proscribed IPOB leader and his collaborators. While the investigation continues, we assure you that none of the collaborators, irrespective of their standing in the society, will be spared. They will all face the full wrath of the law for their activities that challenge our nation's sovereignty and threatens its unity. No one, no matter how highly placed, is bigger than the country. It's also interesting that many are suddenly calling for a fair trial for Kanu, as if he didn't get one before. He decided to jump bail and flee. However, I can assure you that the fair deal that Kanu denied many of the victims of the violence which he willfully instigated through his broadcasts and tweets will not be denied him. Finally, there have been speculations on how this rearrest was pulled off and in which country the HSO fugitive leader of the proscribed IPOB was nabbed. What we can tell you once again is that their rearrest was made possible by the diligent efforts of our security and intelligence agencies in collaboration with countries with which we have obligations. We continue to respect and honor these obligations.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Professor Albert, is it not clear that the state is not interested in telling you where he was intercepted? That's the Minister of Information there.
You see, yes, the state is not interested in telling us. But the international community has been demonized by Nigeria by saying that it was part of this exercise. Well, this is not the first time that, if we refer to Kanu as a fugitive, this is not the first time that the international community will be collaborating to bring such people back to their countries. And of course, the international community agreed to establish what is called Interpol, International Police, for enabling such people to be returned to their country. But when you look at this in the context of existing structures of international diplomacy, I think Nigeria is leaving several questions unanswered, and very strategic questions for that matter. I think Nigeria was fine saying that we got him and we brought him back, but by saying there are some friendly international community members, we are escalating the problem. Because one, it's a simple thing to a student of international diplomacy that there are some infractions, there are some problems with how this guy was captured and brought back to Nigeria. Now, the international community will want to know which country participated.
Are you sure they don't know already?
Well, those countries that felt that they might be demonized in the process of your trying to know are actually coming up to say we are not part of it. And some of them are, for example, the Kenyan man yesterday after the press conference, made a statement that suggests that, look, we know there are problems with this thing, and we don't want the name of our country. And the ambassador said, the name of our country and the name of our president to be associated with this problem. The United Kingdom also came up to say we are not part of it, and they have tried to provide some platforms for showing that they will never be part of how it was brought back. I am not quarreling with the fact that it was brought back, but it's like the kind of human rights violations we see in this country is now, we are now trying to export, we are trying to take some of these ideas outside.
Is that not why it was a classical operation?
When it was brought back, if you saw the first picture, it was looking drugged. The first picture in which he was wearing this white clothes that Lai Mohammed is envying. He was looking drugged. Because when you look at his face, it's like the guy is just recovering from. Now, if this took place under the legal international system, you bring him in, you bring him back to your country in handcuffed and his normal state. That means it enjoyed the cooperation and support of the international system. I mean, I've flown with some of these people severally in the world. I mean, traveling around the world. The person has been, taken from a country, is walked into the aircraft with the handcuff inside, either in front of him or behind him. It's like a normal person. When they are serving meals in the plane, he served meal. But this guy was brought probably in a crate. So there are several questions. Two things here. I'm not quarreling with the fact that he jumped bail and they brought him back to Nigeria. But the circumstances under which he was brought back could actually have some matters arising for Nigeria. Then the question is, what passport was he holding by the time he was brought back to Nigeria? What passport was he holding before he was intercepted? And Lai Mohammed said it's a painstaking exercise. Students of international diplomacy, students of security studies want to know how painstaking.
They will tell us later.
They will tell us later, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
For now, it's a classified information from the way they sound.
Okay.
And we'll be waiting to know, Mr. Lai Mohammed. We just have to go for a break, and we will be back. We are discussing Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafran question. Professor Isaac Olawale Albert is on State Affairs. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Please listen to this announcement. Learn French the French way at Alliance Francaise, Ibadan. The new session for morning intensive program will start next week on Monday, 5th of July 2021. Register now. You can also apply for evening and Saturday classes. We also propose a special program for children during holidays. For more information, please call us on the following number. Phone and WhatsApp 070-320-43178. I repeat, 070-320-43178. You can also visit our Facebook page, AF Ibadan. Alliance Francaise Ibadan, 7th Day Adventist Road, close to Magistrate Court, Iyaganku. Alliance Francaise Ibadan. Learn French the French way.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Quick, Charger 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
It's BBC Minute with William and Laura.
Let's start in Japan. A huge landslide has swept away homes and left around 20 people missing.
It happened in the resort town of Atami, southwest of Tokyo. TV footage showed mud obliterating some buildings and burying others as people ran away.
Iran's president has said the whole country could be engulfed by a fifth wave of the coronavirus. Hassan Rouhani said the Delta variant of the disease had spread in Iran's 7 provinces.
Sticking with COVID, South Africa has approved China's Sinovac vaccine for domestic use.
Protesters in Myanmar have held small demonstrations against the country's military ruler to mark his 65th birthday.
They burned mock coffins and pictures of Min Aung Hlaing, who led the coup that toppled the civilian government in February.
And Britney Spears' younger sister has asked people to stop sending her and her children violent death threats.
Yeah, Jamie Lynn Spears says she has always supported Britney privately, even if, in her words, she didn't use a hashtag on a public platform.
0859G. BBC Minute.
Quick, Charger 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Splash FM 105.5.
In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmund Obilo, on State Affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
Daganan kilo kilo bejanin kom lo moham. Di betamaso sanalom. Muasa benge kaputo.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
I want to make this point. In this analysis, Buhari represents past and present leaders. I'm talking about leaders that did not articulate a confident vision for a prosperous Nigeria. Therefore, the people revolt in different forms, and Buhari threatens war to maintain the status quo. Buhari forgets that the issue of the moment are not about him. It's about the peoples of Nigeria making their choices in search for justice, peace, and development. Let me remind the president that such peoples cannot be shocked because they have reached their elastic limit. Remember Hooke's law in physics, in science? It states, provided the elastic limit is not exceeded, the extension in an elastic material is proportional to the load or applied force. In the case of Nigeria, the crisis of governance and politics result in heavy loads the people cannot carry, causing the elastic limits to be exceeded. That's maximum load. Has Buhari come to take it to the breaking point? Buhari swears many of those behaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War.
And we are concentrating on infrastructure because no country or institution can be developed without infrastructure. Now, for those of us who are unfortunate to be in the field for the 30 months of the Civil War, to see the carnage of how we kill ourselves, at least 1 million people, I think those that are misbehaving, they were either too young, they didn't know what happened. But for those of us who went through all these things, we can't understand. So we will treat them in the language they understand. So I feel for your understanding and so on. We are going to be very hard sooner than later. We have done our best, change the service chiefs and the IG. We allow them time to go around to make necessary changes for them to be firmly in charge. We'll try and give them the resources they require, and we will demand security sooner than later. I thank you very much for your presentation. I assure you that this administration will do whatever we can do for you so that we don't give anybody excuse to blame us that we don't want to go or we want to have a third term.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Buhari says we will demand for security. We'll go hard. We'll speak to them in the language they understand. And Buhari begs you to understand. After Kanu, FG tightens news on Igboho, Buhari promised to go hard. Is Buhari walking? He's walking his talk.
Well, he's walking his talk. But you see, students of history will tell you that such people end up in failure. Abacha did more than that. But at the end of it all, Nigeria survived him. You see, I think the problem we are really having is that Nigerians are treated as a captured people. And so long as you give no room for dialogue in your political system, your conflicts will continue to will continue to fester, will continue to escalate. And I think this is what we are witnessing. You see, there is no political system that is perfect. All over the world, even in the developed parts of the world, citizens are asking questions. And when citizens ask questions, what is expected is that their leaders will engage them. But this idea of saying citizens don't have the right to ask questions, citizens should stop asking questions because they were not born during the Civil War, and that you are going to respond to them in the language they understand, and then the language that you think they should understand is what we're witnessing. To me, I think it will further escalate the problem. It's not going to solve our problems. I mean, if you look at history of insurgencies and terrorism all over the world, the more you try to repress people who are asking questions, the more expanded the network is.
So, Prof, let me ask some questions. Perhaps you will help me answer.
Well, if I'm able to.
Does Buhari understand the past?
To me, I don't think he understands the past. To me, I don't think, because when you look at his policies, and you even listen to his public pronouncements, the pronouncements are not reconciliatory. The pronouncements are not friendly. It's like all the time we threaten Nigerians. And the more you threaten Nigerians, the more you have Nigerians that we misbehave.
So,
and you see, to be able to create a problem for a society like ours, is just for you to have one troublesome person. Once that troublesome person leads the mob, there is what is called mob psychology. People will begin to follow this this person, and until the problems of the society are, driven beyond control. And I think we're moving in that direction.
If you said Buhari does not understand the past,
yes,
is Buhari a man of today?
I don't think he's a man of today, because when you look at all the policies, most especially the way this regime is fighting social media, the way the regime is fighting social media will tell you clearly that the man does not understand today. Because you can fight individuals, you cannot fight ideas. You cannot fight an idea that has come. And you cannot fight a global system like the social media, the way they are fighting it. And so you look at some of the policies, you just ask yourself, who are these people advising the president? Because it's like the president, when he came in with good intentions. We all voted for him. We all loved him. But it's like on daily basis, you find them throwing spanners in the system every day. So you started with 100 supporters. They came to 98, 50-something. And then even the few that are left, you keep throwing stones at them. So I really don't know whether it is intentional or whether the government is doing it because it is not being serviced by professionals. I really don't know.
From the answers you have provided to the two questions,
yes,
can I conclude that the future has left Buhari behind?
I think so.
So?
I think so. You see, if Buhari cared about the future, I expected him to have done a number of things that historians can capture and use for producing positive history about him. But it's difficult for you to find any historical record under this system that can actually celebrate this administration. It's difficult.
So,
at the initial stage, several of us struggled. We struggled, most especially when attending conferences outside, we struggled to defend the system. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to defend the system. For example, let's assume that you are going to an international security meeting next month, and then they put this Kano question to you. Which theories, which particular theories of international diplomacy are you going to use? Because you can deceive yourself. You cannot deceive a scientific community. The scientific community will tell you, Professor Albert, what you are saying is a lie. It's not true. And then if you keep driving the debate in any untoward direction, they will ask you to cite a theory that will support what you are trying to defend. And at the end of the day, it is either concluded that your scholarship is weakening as the Nigerian state is weakening, or that you have decided to just come outside the country to deceive the international community. And I think this is why Britain is saying, we are not part of it. Kenya is saying, we are not part of it. Several countries will say, we are not part of it, because they have realized that it's difficult to defend what we are witnessing.
So we have witnessed new reality.
Well,
so we can craft a theory around that new reality.
The minister for Justice, and Lai Mohammed also said it. He said, what we have done is new to the international. I mean, we have
the opportunity for new theory.
That's why they are saying what we have done is very new. They said the same thing to us when they started, when the Nigerian military started Super Camp. The military said it is very innovative. We are the first in the world to do it. And then when they started Operation Safe Haven, when they were releasing Boko Haram captives, they say it is the first in the world. But we have now been told that these people that they released, all of them have returned to join Boko Haram. And they have better information, whatever. And then Super Camp was very good for Israel. Because whereas Shekau will do indiscriminate attack of any soft or hard target. But when ISWAP came up, ISWAP specialized in attacking military installations. So most of the operations of ISWAP was targeted at Supercam. Now, ISWAP has driven Shekau's Boko Haram underground, and therefore the next phase in the Boko Haram now is constant attack on Supercams. So you begin to see policies that are not really good, but that have been forced on the country and that are backfiring.
I can make some point from some of the answers Professor Albert has provided. One of the points I want to make is that as men of vision take to the moon, Buhari dreams of cattle routes. Who will make him understand that the children of the men and women who died in the Civil War have grown up? They are asking questions. You don't threaten them with death, for they have learned to die. Is that true?
It's true. We saw that in the Niger Delta. I started working on the Niger Delta crisis in 1992. My first, visit to Loibri and some of these hideouts in the Niger Delta was in 1992. And it was at that meeting I saw, I met with one of the leaders of the, I've forgotten his name now. It was a special advisor to Goodluck Jonathan. He's dead now.
Douglas Oronto?
Douglas, that was my first encounter with Douglas Oronto. So when we met Douglas Oronto, we told him, okay, we've seen everything that we came here to see and that we're going to discuss with your leaders. He told us, he said, look, don't deal with any leader, deal with us here. The Niger Delta youth are in charge of this environment. Our so-called leaders, they use the Niger Delta crisis to make money, and once they make money, they go to Lagos to build their houses. They build their houses in Abuja, they build their houses in Port Harcourt, and they never came back here. So deal with us directly. Now, later I became the board chairman of Niger Delta Professionals for Development, and I went to Niger Delta severally to hold board meetings. Now, those people we refer to boys as of then, they are now in the parliament. They have taken over houses of assembly in the Niger Delta. They are now in the House of Reps. I don't know any of them in the Senate. The current deputy governor of Delta State was a boy then. So these people, they are taking over. They are gradually acquiring power. Now, under the Niger Delta amnesty program, many of them were financially empowered. In the next 5 years, the so-called Niger Delta militants will take over Niger Delta. Now, these people that were saying have never witnessed war, they will take over this country in the next 5 years. And they will revisit some of the things, the nonsense we are doing now. They will revisit them. So the best thing to do is, one, for us to be humble enough to say, these young people that we have no respect for, they own the future. Now, let us take how they feel, what they feel, into consideration in structuring how we manage this country. But when we keep going on air to say they are small boys, they have never witnessed war, they have never whatever, these people are coming back to dig our graves.
Is poverty not war?
And they will throw our skeleton on the street.
Is poverty not war?
Is it not war? These boys, they have gone to school, they have no job for them, they have no future, they have no hope. They live in abject poverty in the midst of affluence, exhibited by their political leaders. Money is being stolen left and right all over the country, and then we are saying, because they have never witnessed civil war, they are inconsequential, and that we will respond to them in the language they understand. But let us, my own position is that if we say violence is the language that these young people understand, they understand the language more than us. We should not push them too hard. This is my sincere advice to the country.
The lines are open. 08091551055. You can call 08056998678. Call 0706940 930 00. Those are the numbers to call. 080 915 51055. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Edmund. Sorry, this is Omatare Peter. I have to call again.
Good.
Yeah, as a strong exponent of egalitarianism, it is true that the government has failed. That's the basic part about it, and it's a colossal failure. But the issue we have at hand is that some of the problem we have is an accumulation of failure. Like I said in your program the other time, there was a time I said, if you become the president today, Mr. Edmund, you will be contending with the problem of 50 years ago. You will have about 13.9 million Nigerian children out of school. You will have, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, you will have 39.9 million of youths. That is unemployed youth. We some people have said between 50 to 70 million. So this problem is there are so many, there are humongous problems. So we Nigerians need to understand most of these problems cannot be solved overnight. A nation does not develop by magic. So most of these kind of problems are going to take time. And I'm not saying the government is doing enough. The government is not doing enough. The government have to buckle up. And I will say that political issues are multidimensional. There are different perspectives to this issue. The government may be viewing this issue from a different perspective. Take, for instance, they may be from perspective that there are some political elements that are sponsoring some of these elements in order to cause time, in order to eat up the police. And the government may believe that if they are folding their hands and watching, that this movement will continue to gain ground and expand. And I want to say this, I'm not saying, but there's a possibility that some of these people, some of these youth, their leaders, it's possible the government could have met them.
All right.
Like I said the other time. Yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Hello. 080 915 51055. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Edmund.
Can you please turn down the volume of your radio?
Okay, I will do. Good morning, Edmund.
Good morning.
My name is Cecilia Ade. I'm calling from Oluyode Estate, Ibadan.
Good.
The point I want to raise. Number one, what General Akin Ade said, one of the point he made was that it was agreed in that meeting that anybody that wanted to live can live peacefully. That's number one. Number two, these people that went to Igboho's house, they have no right to do that. The Fulanis, they have been crying. Everybody is saying that they are carrying AK-49 or something like that. Why did government not tell all this investigation group that they should investigate them in the night around them up? I'm not encouraging I'm saying carrying, but this thing is very, very wrong. They left the Fulanis carrying for AK-47. They leave them. They don't do anything about them, and they are chasing other people. It's very wrong. I saw the video where they destroyed Sunday Igboho's property. I saw it, the cars, the sitting room. I saw the video. It was a sad event. It was bad. Please, Edmund, said anybody that can reach Sunday, tell him not to submit himself and tell him to sue the federal government for destroying his property. They have no right to do that.
Thank you.
Please, therefore, tell the government that they should rule with history. So when this cross that anybody can go, when it's in that group, why are they arresting Nandi, who started without trouble? Why? This government should listen to the people. When it is not listening that is causing that problem. Why can they not call these people that are aggrieved that what do you want us to do? Buhari's government is already a failure. Please tell him to listen to people. And this restructuring, it is overdue. Let them go back to the time we were before, regions. Let him be a state now. That the state will be strong and the center will be loose. The center should be loosed. Please, Edmund, you are doing a very good thing. I don't let anybody discourage you. I pray for you. The Lord will be with you and guide you. This is my contribution.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. Yes, she has spoken. Professor Albert, you heard her.
Yes.
How do you feel?
Well, I consider what you said as words of our elders. She has spoken very well, advised our leaders. And the summary of what she said is that you have two approaches to managing a problem of a society as diverse as ours. The first is for you to say you want to use force, as the government is doing. But what she's saying is that a better option is for us to say we want to dialogue with those asking questions. Even in our homes, our children ask us questions. But in Nigeria, if you ask questions, you're immediately demonized as a bad person. I mean, there is no society that is governed that way. And, you know, the federal government keeps saying we're the first in this, first in this, first in this. And I think that is why she concluded by saying this is a complete failure already. We should not be adding to the failure. And I think that is why she's advising that the federal government should listen to the people.
Who is the next caller, Bosun? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yes,
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are speaking to Johnson. Johnson is calling from Cape Town, South Africa.
Good to hear you, Johnson.
Thank you, Edmund. First of all, let me thank you for a wonderful job that you are doing. I just want to speak on Sunday Igboho, president that was invited by Nigerian DFS. According to them, they claim that those ammunitions was found by Sunday Igboho's premises, right?
Yes.
But Edmund, if you can remember, this DSS and Nigerian police, they know how to do their things. Let me remind you, a few years back, during a robbery, if I'm not mistaken, a car was presented carrying the name of Nigerian Senate President. What was his name then?
Saraki.
Remind me.
Saraki. Bukola Saraki.
Yeah. Yes, Saraki. Yes. Edmund, up to today, do you know that Nigerians are still waiting to know what is Saraki involvement on that of a robbery? And nothing is sharing from the government. Simply because Saraki, they were having dispute at that moment. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that I don't believe that those ammunition was found by Sunday Igboho's president. Those are their ammunition. That is their way of doing their own thing. But finally, what I just want to say is that Nigerian government has proceeded in letting the Igbos and Yorubas know that they have something in common than Hausas and Fulanis. That is all I have to say now, because the unity is coming there. The unity is coming. Now I realize that Igbos and Yorubas are even more related than other tribes. Thank you, Edmund.
Thank you. He's talking about the Igbo-Yoruba alliance. Do you see that alliance improving? Is there even an alliance?
Well, there is no alliance per se. But when you look at the way the federal government is solving problems in this nation, I think the federal government is creating a very problem of perception. And that is why I said in stage 7 of your conflict escalation, you have distorted perception. When you keep punishing a group and you keep rewarding another group within what you call a federal state, then you create a perception that those that you are punishing have something in common. You know, you find attacks in the southeast, you find attacks in the southwest, and then you find political leaders taking selfies with criminals in the north. I mean, there is a YouTube widely, a viral video where one of the terrorists in the northeast, northwest, said he killed more than 57 soldiers, and that he was standing in front of, he said he came here because nobody could touch him, and then people clapped. People were clapping behind him. We saw the case of Buhari Daji in Zamfara State, taking selfie with the governor of the state. We saw Gumi actually asking the federal government to give more money to the bandits. Shekau has been killed. We've been fighting since 2009. We could not kill Shekau. It was a faction of Boko Haram that killed Shekau. So what we are witnessing now, and which is a problem of perception, now turning into reality, is that the way southern Nigerians are treated under the Nigerian federalism is different from the way northern Nigerians are treated. And when you have that type of discriminatory governance system, those you discriminate against will begin to come together to see themselves, as a universe. They begin to see themselves as a constituency. They begin to see themselves as a jurisdiction that must work collaboratively. And I think that's the direction in which we are moving. Yesterday, the people of the North Central, the so-called Middle Belt, said the North is on its own, we are not with you. So it's like the country is breaking down on daily basis. But surprisingly, our leaders cannot see it as a problem to be solved. And it's not a problem you can solve militarily. Because if militarily you have not been able to destroy the terrorists in the Northeast, if militarily you have not been able to destroy the terrorists in the Northwest, if militarily you have not been able to destroy the terrorists in the South, in the North Central, and in Niger State, for example, the governor is daily shouting, crying helplessness. If you have not been able to manage the problems of these people, then how is Buhari going to fight his national war that he's talking about all the time?
Now, we just have to go for a break. I'm discussing with Professor Olawale Adbot of the University of Ibadan. He's a professor of African history, peace, and conflict studies at the Department of Peace, Security, and Humanitarian Studies, University of Ibadan. We'll be back after this break. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live. In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmund Obilo, on State Affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
Why should I sit in my village, Katsina, Masari, sorry, in my village, and be only making telephone calls without doing nothing? Every bandit, every criminal has an address, has a location, and they are human beings like us. The only difference is that they have taken arms against us. Does it mean we have nothing to take against us, against them? Do you mean that we should vacate all our villages, all our farms, all our houses? and surrender them to bandits and wait for a police officer, General Emeka, all the way from Enugu to come to Kaduna and rescue me? This is ridiculous. Why? Look, I think part of also what this Katsina initiative needs to do is to go around to all these local government. Let us talk to the people. Defend yourself. Are you telling me if you hear somebody breaking your door, he wants to steal your property, you will go under the bed and wait for until he comes in? It's better to confront him. Either way, either you die, all of you, or you succeed. It is time for all of us to come out. The security agencies that are here, how many are they? This problem is not only in Katsina. It's all over the country, like Professor Bashir has said. Because we have failed to do what we are supposed to do, that's why the military are in now. That's why the Air Force are in now. But if we do what is right, I think we should limit them their constitutional responsibility. The protection of territorial integrity of this country. We are overstretching members of the armed forces. We are overstretching the police. We are expecting them to do more than as if they are not human beings like us.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Prof, is that the voice of a frustrated governor? The governor of Katsina State speaking there, Bello Masari, Buhari's state.
I mean, he is not even the first governor to be that frustrated. All the governors are frustrated. The federal government should stop deceiving Nigerians. Even the Minister for Defense, he said we should start defending ourselves. Before Masari said what he said, Bello, the governor of Niger State, said, look, the people now we have to look for ways of solving their problems. So several governors before him said the same thing. But Masari made, said something that I think feeds into the larger discourse. Masari is saying that the security agencies are overstretched. Now, are these the people they are going to use to fight Nigerian civil war? So let Abuja stop deceiving itself. Abuja, the people could sit down there and be deceiving themselves. Let them stop deceiving Nigerians.
I felt for Masari.
The option left now is for us to begin to look for other ways of dealing with these problems. We need to start thinking outside the box. But when you have leaders that are not ready to think outside the box, leaders who are asking for cattle roots of the 1960s, for us to return to the cattle roots of these people are dated in terms of their knowledge, in terms of how to govern a modern society. We have to face the fact. And if we continue to govern Nigeria like this, I see the system crashing at a point.
Let's listen to Father Mbaka again.
If our leaders will not be careful and do what they should do to put Nigeria in a good platform, one day, this country will collapse. If they don't do what they should do, and the youths keep suffering, and the jobs are not provided, and the leaders are busy amassing wealth, keeping monies for themselves, and these teeming millions of Nigerian youths are watching them. A time is coming when what we're experiencing now will just be biscuits.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Yes, Mbaka has spoken. Everyone is speaking. Buhari is also speaking. Who is listening? Is anybody listening?
One, I can tell you that the international community is listening. You see, you have conferences on Nigeria all over the world. You know, a few of them, they invite us to, we refuse to go. Because as a scholar, you know that you are going to be humiliated. The kind of information that will be presented will be difficult for you to defend or argue against. So many of these meetings are held on Nigeria. Those of us in this field, we have stopped going to such conferences. Now, those who are holding these conferences, you want to ask yourself, why are they holding the conference? One, the population of Nigeria is considered to be intimidating. Should anything happen to this country, Africa will be rocked to the bottom. That is number one. The second one is that the international community has a lot of investment in this country, and should anything happen to the country, there is going to be monumental loss of investments, and they are worried about it. Then three, Nigerians, I mean, this is a personal experience. Nigerians are feared all over the world. When you are a Nigerian and you are joining any international system, you are feared because Nigerians are considered to be very bold people. We are very assertive. We are highly knowledgeable. And I don't think the global community will want Nigerians in their millions to be unleashed to the rest of the world. So the rest of the world is concerned. But when you see our leaders who are sharing money in Abuja, they are not worried. You know, sometimes you see them and you begin to wonder whether you live in the same country with them, because they do not see these problems you are talking about. They live in their own world, and the question is, for us, for how long are we going to continue to live in a country where the leaders and the led are detached?
Now, we have Nnamdi Kanu in the custody of the DSS.
Yes.
What happens to the Biafran question?
The Biafran question, I must tell you, has gone beyond Nnamdi Kanu. I'll give you a Nigerian, fact to support what I'm saying, and I'll give you an international one. The last time that IPOB delivered asked people to stay at home to celebrate the Biafran, whatever, the whole of the Southeast was deserted. People stayed at home. Now, any group or individual that is having that type of respectability, whether you want to call it respectability or that the society fears so much, is not a group that should be underrated. That group should not be underrated. So it is no longer Kanu, but it is an idea. People who have the belief that they are marginalized in the Nigerian state and that the only way by which they can redress whatever injustice that have been done to them is for them to act the way they are acting. Then the second one is that the Igbo people have the largest percentage of Nigerian diasporas. And Igbo people outside Nigeria are very rich. They are stinkingly rich. When you look at revolutions and you look at countries that collapse and what all these countries got their support from their diaspora population. When America invaded Iraq, I'm referring to the first Gulf War.
Yeah.
It was not a problem that was motivated from within Iraq. It was Iraqi diasporas were the ones that actually made that invasion possible. So, to me, I think Nigerian leaders act without first analyzing their problems. You see, what we do in strategic studies is, before you slap anybody, you first look at the person, you do an analysis, you do a profile of the person. If I slap this person, what would be the repercussion? But in Nigeria, we slap people without actually assessing the repercussion. It is when we see the repercussion, then we begin to take our steps back. And it's to tell you that the system is not being serviced by professionals. You see, keeping Kanu with you is your problem magnified by 100%.
How?
It's your problem magnified by 100% because it will incentivize It will incentivize the grievances on ground. In 2009, we wrote our first paper on this so-called Boko Haram in 2004. We did a field work. We did our field work in Maduguri, when the politicians there were building what they call ECOMOGs, and then in the northeast there, Sarasuka, in Bauchi, Yantauri, and so on. All of this we came together later to become what you call Boko Haram. We warned as early as 2004 that certain things should not be done. Now, in 2009, when the police killed Yusuf, they used theoretically what you call leadership decapitation, because there is the leadership decapitation theory in security studies. The leadership decapitation theory is saying that if you kill the leader of a group, that the system will dissolve. But you don't just kill the leader of the group, you don't arrest the leader of the group, you don't break the group into factions as we saw in Boko Haram, without first doing your analysis of what would be the matters arising. So I think the Nigerian state did not do that analysis in 2009 when they were killing Yusuf. Now, when Yusuf was killed, the system went underground for 1 year and came up with a more implacable leadership in the name of Abubakar Shekau. Now, Shekau was to be killed in the year 2021. And the question some of us ask is, as the Nigerian military was going after Shekau, have they done the analysis very, very well? That if you remove Shekau, you are not going to have more problems. Now, Shekau has been removed. Now, the two factions of Boko Haram have come together now to have one structure, led by ISWAP. ISWAP that is controlled in the Middle East. Now, which is easier for you to manage? A Shekau that is a Nigerian, or Al-Banawi that is controlled from the Middle East. So the problem here is our leaders just think all you need is to have the ability to arrest, the ability to detain, the ability to kill. It does not work that way.
No.
If you don't do your own work very well, you end up having more problems.
Kanu is in detention.
Yes.
What do you think is running through the minds of members of IPOB, ESN? What do you see happening in the Southeast soon?
Well, for now, for some time, you might see what you will call a calm. The situation will look a little bit stable. That is what happens when you engage in leadership decapitation, And then the system will go underground, re-strategize, and by the time the system is coming out again, you are definitely going to have an escalation of the problem.
Let's talk to Buhari now, because Ojukwu spoke to Buhari. So let Buhari tell us what Ojukwu said about the Biafran question. Then we'll round off our analysis.
Nigerians are robust and lively in discussing their affairs. But I was distressed to notice that some of the comments, especially in the social media, have crossed our national red lines by daring to question our collective existence as a nation. This is a step too far. In 2003, after I joined partisan politics, the late Chief Emeka Ojukwu came and stayed as my guest in my hometown, Daura. Over 2 days, we discussed in great depth till late into the night and analyzed the problems of Nigeria. We both came to the conclusion that the country must remain one and united. Nigerians' unity is settled and not negotiable. We shall not allow irresponsible elements to start trouble, and when things get bad, they run away and saddle others with the responsibility of bringing back order, if necessary, with their blood. Every Nigerian has the right to live and pursue his business anywhere in Nigeria without let or hindrance. I believe the very vast majority of Nigerians share this view. This is not to deny that there are legitimate concerns. Every group has a grievance, but the beauty and attraction of a federation is that it allows different groups to air their grievances and work out a mode of coexistence. The National Assembly and the National Council of States are the legitimate and appropriate bodies for national discourse. The national consensus is that it is better to live together than to live apart.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
So a lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. And I will say to everyone, I led proudly the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail. It would all have been in vain.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Buhari told us the story of Ojukwu. Ojukwu there said he led the first one proudly. There's no need for a second one. What do you have to say?
Well, you see, there is no nation that goes to war by choice. Nations go to war, one, when citizens are prevented from engaging in dialogue. Nations go to war when dialogue processes do not lead to amicable management of problems. But the president has just told us that his regime will prefer the dialogue part. But he has reduced it to a proportion or dimension that some of us will disagree with. He identified two institutions that you engage in this dialogue. He said National Council of State and the National Assembly. To me, I don't think these two structures can actually tell us where we are taking this country to. Council of State, the National Council of State, who are the members? These are the people, the same people that led us to where we are. So you are saying that those who led us to where we are the people who will tell you how to get us out of the problem.
He says personally, the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. He says it's not
negotiable, it's negotiable. Nigeria is a federal state. In a federal state, states are more powerful than the center. But a situation where people sit in Abuja, 2-3 people sit in Abuja, then they consider themselves to be the state. And then they tell us what to do. So, but he said the second one is the National Assembly. The National Assembly. Yes, the National Assembly is supposed to be helping all of us to think through our problems and solve our problems. But to me, the way the National Assembly today is structured is not the one, it's not the type of body we need for getting out of the mess in which we find ourselves.
Professor Isaac Olawale Abbott.
Thank you.
Thank you for featuring on State Affairs.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I have to go now. But let me remind you that Professor Isaac Olawale Abbott is a professor of African history, peace and conflict studies at the Department of Peace, Security and Humanitarian Studies, University of Ibadan. He is the pioneer dean of the university's Faculty of Multidisciplinary Studies. He is a specialist in security analysis. As I go, let me remind you again that the journey is on and it's about redeeming the state. That is the task before us. You must rise and contribute your quota. It's a journey to tomorrow. And I'll be back next week Saturday for a fresh package of State Affairs. I worked with Bosun Alayode to bring you this edition of the program. Yemi Prodigy is here, taking state affairs to the world. And Tosin Ayeni is also here. He's a documentary photographer. The next program is Ijoba Ibile with Biodun Adewale. It's a program you should not miss. It takes you to the grassroots, discussing local government affairs. Biodun Adewale, the one we know as Double A, is here. I am Edmund Obilo. Thank you for listening.
Daganan kilo bejanin kom no moham.